Last one is I'd really like to know your stance on couples living together as you both have experience with it. Specifically, what were the reasons and when did you guys know that it was a good idea? Was it more practical, financial, testing each other's compatibility, or was it emotional, as in showing more commitment, she asked first? And having gone through it, can you share which couple types would you recommend / not recommend it to? I'd like your help in seeing if there's a more philosophical or principle-based approach to deciding if it's a good idea to move in with a girlfriend that you already like and trust.
We laugh when you say, how did you know it was a good idea? Because it was not a good idea.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on this?
I mean, it's tough. In hindsight, we're both dating people that we shouldn't have been dating, and we're both extremely obsessed with them. So we shouldn't, not only should we not have lived with them, but we shouldn't have been dating them. Should have.
Well, I mean, the shoulds are tough because it's like, I don't regret it. My life, I learned a lot, all that kind of stuff. But
sure. But if you're saying, like, it's just weird. Like, would we have been happier not living together? I mean, we've been happiest if we men in blacked to never even know that person existed. So it's like, yeah, I don't really know what to say. Like the high level problem was,
I'll speak personally,
being in a relationship with that person at all, and then living with them was also a problem. But it's not like it was, I mean, in hindsight, like, it wouldn't have been great to be neighbors but not live together. Like, those relationships should have ended years prior.
You're gonna have to learn this one on your own. This is one that, like, I can here's my experience. I've been fortunate enough to have experiences of, like, we're dating and then I move abroad, and we're dating and I live 15 minutes away, and now we're dating and I live in the same room, and I've done that with the same person. I've done that with different people. And for me, by far the best thing is we're dating and we live a short drive away from one another. Speaking of, she's now double called in the last 5 minutes.
That's not the person I was talking to that Charlie shouldn't date, by the way. I was talking about an ex. Current girlfriend I like.
What was I saying?
Don't live with them. Don't live abroad. Live a short drive away.
Don't live with them. Live abroad. Oh, yeah. So, hold on. I got to just turn that over. I just am going, God, is somebody dead? I'll call her.
No, there's just a good story. Yeah. There's just some gossip.
So, definitely best in my experience living nearby. Why? The ability to have your own private space is so underappreciated. And especially the ability to just, like, be bothered with one another and not talk about it, not fight about it, not overcome it, but just separate is such a phenomenal way to deal with just the general moodiness of life. And just, like, instead of being like, say one of us, I'm in a crappy mood and she's in a slightly crappy mood, and that can become a thing that it's not.
Do you feel this way about your current roommate, or do you think it's specific to dating?
Oh, if we had to live together?
No, your current roommate.
My brother?
Yeah. That you guys would have a better relationship.
It's specific to dating. It's specific to dating. It's specific to the codependent relationship that occurs with dating.
So you don't think you'd have a better relationship if he lived in the apartment across the hall?
No. We're way more independent than any dating relationship I've ever seen. Now, perhaps there are people, but all of my friends.
No, I was just curious because I know you guys sometimes have friction.
We always have friction, but it's okay. Like, I think this is another thing. The friction that I have with my brother is we will scream and fight, and that's just going to happen. So it's
because you're siblings, you're saying?
Yes. So I haven't gotten anywhere with this. I have preferred living nearby one another. The ability to separate has been huge. The ability to see each other on short notice is really nice as well, which wasn't the case when I lived in Brazil and somebody lived in Las Vegas. I also have always lived with at least one friend or brother, which I have found to be, to me, and maybe my commitment issues or whatever, a really important grounding thing, because in my experience, the person that I'm dating has an agenda, as do all people. The agenda of the person I'm dating is to get me to do what they want. Right? And that's not horrible, but what they want is, like, more commitment, to get married, maybe to take them more places, to go to Disneyland, to go to Halloween Horror Night, to, like, do these things, and to have a friend who also wants me to do what they want to do, but has just, I feel less obligated to my friends because of the socio-cultural thing that I grew up in. It's very helpful.
They'll also be less upset if you don't do it.
Yes, and will not penalize me in the same way, and knows that they can't penalize me in the same way. Like, has to use different tactics in order to get me to do things. It's been such a useful grounding thing for me. So oftentimes she hates it. You guys are gonna be like, this is a horrible boyfriend. When she is yelling at me and she knows it, I'll be like, all right, I'm putting you on speaker with my lawyer, and Henry hates it too. I'll be like, tell him what you just said to me. I want him to say that if you're being reasonable. And she gets upset and but won't say it because she knows that she was leaning into me in a way that she could only lean into me without that third party hearing it. Does that make any sense? And
Sure.
again, all of this is something that we laugh about after the scenario. It's not like a hostage situation where she's like, oh my God, this private conversation we're having is now exposed. But yeah, so I've preferred, personally, all that said, to live nearby, to have a roommate. I have not lived alone, and I could imagine that might change my mind. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, also, I think most people have a more romantic view of what couplehood is, and also friends who are coupling up. Does that make sense? So I imagine this person might have all their friends be in the same place, moving apart, living with significant others. I remember living in New York, and 6 of us lived in a 2-story apartment that was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point, people started to couple up, and one person would live with a girlfriend, and then another person would live with a girlfriend, and then there was another guy. And then also there's this weird sense that they were doing really well financially, so they should get their own place. And then, so now they're living alone, but near each other. And I think then, I remember the last guy who was single was just like, this kind of sucks. And if we were all single, it'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm just by myself.
Yeah.
And so that person's desire for a girlfriend went up significantly once he lost the support network of his friends.
Yeah.
Which is something this person might be seeing happening or experiencing that
was this a YouTube comment or a Patreon comment?
YouTube.
Okay. Well, I feel bad because you raise a really good point. My answer is so bad here because I'm such a particular person who has gone such a weird path of making my friends and my brother the primary system into my 30s.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and most friends,
weird.
Most
that
friends,
doesn't happen.
You can't count on for that.
Yes.
Like they will go live with their own girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and you end up being alone in your nice apartment.
Yeah. My friends and I, we've betrayed each other in the past. But we've have like a semi-pact, but it's loose.
I have a girlfriend right now, dude. I'm a betrayer at the moment. So is Benji.
Yeah, but people like throw their hands in and then take it out. Just kidding. Wait, you're going to take it out? Like, I'm in. So my friends and I are all kind of like, hey, maybe we'll just be roommates. Just kidding. I have a girlfriend. No, like there's a lot of that.
But I could be back one day.
But I could be back, and I meant
never
it.
Again.
That was just a joke.
Yeah. No, I think of my friend in New York, who I remember. He had a girlfriend when we were all living together, and then became single when everyone else was single. Mm. He kind of was like a little bit behind, you know what I mean? Everyone was single. He had a girlfriend, then he got single, and people got girlfriends, and then he was the last man standing.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, if I could go back to just everyone being single, it was awesome. But now it just sucks because I'm the only person and there's no one to go out with or to hang out with.
Yeah. So in sum, don't listen to me. I am a totally weird individual in this regard. And unless so many other priors in your life match mine, my advice is useless.
Yeah. I'll also give you advice that'll be impossible to follow, which is
get 4 friends that want to live with you instead.
No, not even. Don't let someone pressure you into doing it.
Yeah.
Live with them when you choose to.
Yeah.
You can't possibly follow this because when you are getting pressured to do it, you'll fold to the pressure because the alternative is that there may be a breakup, or
and the pressure doesn't go.
Cry at you.
This is the thing with pressure. The pressure doesn't go away. It just builds.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, you're not. I can say that, but I know that that's impossible for you to execute on. So I don't even want to put that pressure on you from our end of like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do.
This
it's
is
like,
the worst answer I've ever given to a question, and I feel it. I feel it right now.
No, it's true. You're gonna is the truth.
Yeah, I'll try to say something useful in my final thought. It's great to live apart. It's great to have your own space. If you do move together and you're financially able, one thing that I've heard people do is eventually get 2 separate bedrooms. And the couple that I know that is one of the ones that is like most stable, 11 years, does that and says it's a godsend to have their own space, to not have to deal with sleeping issues. A lot of the things that are very exciting at the beginning of the relationship, like, oh my God, you're here when I wake up, and you're like, become difficult later on. And so just that ability to like get away from one another without having to make a big deal out of it is so nice.
Well, I have one thing, and I don't know if you have any thoughts on it, but I feel like the best thing you could do if you're going to live with a significant other is figure out how to make it so that the frame is that you're going to opt in to doing things together, instead of the assumption being that you're going to do things together and then you have to opt out to do things alone or with your friends. Because that was one thing that I struggled with. Like in Brazil, I lived with my girlfriend very close to you guys, and it was a fight if I wanted to go hang out with you guys for 4 hours or whatever, because she would be by herself. And I wish that I had been able to create a dynamic where it was just not assumed that my time was going to be spent with her, and then I was choosing to spend time away with her. I wish that the frame had been, who knows what Ben's time's going to be, and then there's a choice to spend time together, but there's never any sadness or anger or resentment if we're spending time apart.
Well, in that case, the answer was, don't take your significant other to a country where they don't know anybody,
or
and then expect them to have a full life outside of you.
No, the mistake was, honestly, the mistake was having her
be there,
living there.
No, the answer should have been, hey, you're going to be completely relying on me in this foreign country, understandably. That's not going to work. So you can come visit. Sorry, that was a bad answer. Good luck. I feel bad even posting this. Do you have any philosophical? No, just a bunch of mistakes.
I don't even.
Let's move on to patrons.
Our lives are just so different from like most.
Sometimes
people,
we can give good advice. This is just not one of them. So in any event, we're going to hop over to Patreon. Hopefully the advice there will be better than this.
Was that the last question?
Yep.
Nice. Do we even publish that?
I don't even know, dude.
I think it's helpful.
Okay.
Just don't. We didn't tell you what to do, but just don't do that.
Yeah. Just don't be like me.
But also, you're probably.
You're going to.
Going to.
This is just one of those things. This is one of those mistakes that has to be felt and made. So good luck. Don't get married. That's a big one. It's moving out is sticky. That marriage one is. It's not never get married. It's don't get pressured into getting married. That is a very, very bad thing to have happen. Hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.